Hello. I've been out tonight and I was out last night. And you know, too much work is just not good. Now before last week, I just was doing non-stop work. And I've done it before, in fact lots of times throughout my life. I thought, you know, if you just work and work and work, you'll get everything done and it will all be fine. Of course the trouble is, if you just work all the time, you become very dull and very unaware of what you're doing, so it loses its sparkle, your work does. It just becomes flat and dull and ordinary. And then, because you're working all the time, you get exhausted, drained, literally drained, because you are putting so much into what you're trying to do. Excuse me. And you just lose it completely. And then, of course, everything else that you have to do gets left. I mean, work is great, but there's always other things to do. Housework, personal work, things for the family. They all have to take their place in your life. You can't just work. Work is glorious. I mean, I love it. But you can just do too much, and you can't do that all the time because you lose that essential spark about yourself that you're putting into your work, and that work which creates something which is special to you and it's something you wish to share with the world, and you just lose it. So I really had got terribly overtired. So now this evening I've been out to a WIM committee meeting, which was great fun. I'm not on the committee yet, but I just went along to see how they work. And last night I went to my book club. Was it last night? No, it was the night before, sorry. It was Monday night was the book club. It's Wednesday night. Monday night I went to the book club, and that was a lovely evening. We had a gang of us, and we had a really good discussion about Ernest Hemingway's book, The Old Man and the Sea. Very tiny little book, but very well written book. And I didn't really like the subject matter, but I could appreciate the worth of the book, so that was good. And we all had we had panettone. Was it panettone and tea in the middle of the meeting, as we always do. So that was very nice, and it was just a lovely evening. Everybody really made a contribution. Everybody talked, and it was all very good indeed. And then last night we were puppy sitting with a family member's little puppy dog who's 12 weeks old, a little dachshund, brown dachshund. Well, of course they're all brown, aren't they? But short hair, not the long hair type, or the wire-haired coated one. Really sweet, and she was leaping off the sofa and chasing around after Alice, who got a little bit cross, but she was very good in the end. And it was just lovely. And I had my exercise session yesterday, which was great fun, and I really was very careful. We did a new to me sort of Zumba step. I can't remember what it was called, but we had these little weights we held, and that was great fun, but I had to be very careful, so that was great fun. I enjoyed that. And then today, what have we done today? Oh, we were out this morning, you know, just routine things. But we did have lunch, a quick sort of working day lunch in one of the pubs in Adderbury, which we hadn't eaten before. I'd been there for drinks. It's the one that faces the village green, and that wasn't bad. Huge plate of food for, what was it, £4 each. Roast beef, a huge plate of food. I couldn't eat all of mine by no means, and so of course we had to have supper, which is great. And I did have some sausage rolls out this evening, and cheese sauce, and that's it. So I don't want any more, so that's very good. So yes, so it was lovely. So I suddenly, you know, because I haven't spoken to you properly, I suddenly thought I must go and record the fact that going out is very good for me. It's very productive, and staying in all the time and working is totally counterproductive. It's no good for you. Too much work is not good for anyone. So there we are. So I hope you've all been having a good week. The weather's been a bit mixed, hasn't it? And lots of cold mornings, so I don't know what tomorrow's going to be like. I have got to go out tomorrow, so we'll see. And the car has been very cold, and very frosted the other day, but oh yes, Tuesday morning at 9:30 when I was walking home with Alice, the car was completely frosted and I couldn't get the doors open. But luckily, when I had to go out to my exercise class, it was about an hour later, and the frost had mostly melted away, so that was fine. It was just very cold. So there we are. So that's my week so far. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Oh, before I went out, I did make a small batch of kale pesto. And I bought a new magazine today, the Red. I suppose it must be the February issue. I don't know, maybe the January issue. And they have some kale recipes in. It's definitely the superfood at the moment. It's very fashionable to have kale. He doesn't like it, but it's good to eat kale. And the pesto is lovely. So hopefully if I've got some potatoes tomorrow, I can have jacket potato with kale, which I haven't had for a long time, because we're still eating up Christmas food, and the freezer's still got lots of Christmas food, which is fine, but you get a bit fed up with it. Anyway, okay, that's all for now. I've just probably spoken for far too long, but I'll see you another day. Goodbye.